Hey everyone, diving into our ISO governance policies today, I have Matt Cooper with me, our in-house security and compliance expert, who's going to help us go through at a high level and dig into the details of ISMS 9, which is procedure for corrective action and continual improvement. With that, over to you, Matt, to dig in.
All right, thanks, Caitlin. Hey, folks. All right, today we're talking about corrective action and continual improvement. So first, let's anchor this in the requirement. If you look at your ISO 27001 framework, you'll find this in section 10 of the clauses. Section 10 is called improvement, 10.1, nonconformity and corrective action. And essentially, when a nonconformity occurs, the organization shall react to the nonconformity, take action to control and correct it, deal with the consequences, evaluate the need to eliminate the root cause by reviewing it, determining the cause, determining if similar nonconformities exist, implement actions needed, and take the corrective action in a nutshell. So we have a management policy talking about how we will do this. And then before I move on to that, I will say lastly, clause 10.2, which is the last one of the clauses, is around continual improvement. It's kind of a squishy requirement. It just says the organization shall continually improve the suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness of the ISMS, Information Security Management System. Okay, we'll talk about both of those here, but essentially, let's start with the nonconformities. That's more cut and dry. So based on either your own internal assessment, your internal audit, your formal internal audit, whether you do it or a third party does it, and or your external audit, any of those can result in a nonconformity. And so if you get one of those, you have to, do the things that I just said from the standard, basically review it, figure out why it's happening, and then take corrective action. And so this procedure just outlines the process for doing that. In addition, what most certification bodies will have you do or want you to do is document it on it's usually on a spreadsheet that has all of these columns that are, meet the specific ISO requirements. You'll find a template for that in Vanta as well. And you put the thing that happened and then, why it happened and what you're going to do about it, essentially. That's basically it. So for minor nonconformities will not impede your ability to get certified unless the total accumulation of nonconformities led to a major nonconformity. A major nonconformity will actually block your certification. You'll have to deal with it immediately, but a minor nonconformity is something that you could very possibly work out over the next 3 months or 6 months, just depending upon what it is and what you need to do to fix it. The other thing I would say is that ISO, because of this reality, ISO is a fairly forgiving scheme, meaning the auditor can give you minor nonconformities. You still get certified. You just have to correct them. Whereas in SOC 2, if you get exceptions, those are customer facing and can have a negative impact on your business. Therefore, I feel like the audit culture is slightly different. In SOC 2, the auditor doesn't want you to get exceptions because they know that you're going to be, upset about that. And they'll give you every opportunity to rationalize it, explain it away, why it's not in fact an exception when they find something. In my experience in ISO, the auditor is much more comfortable giving you nonconformities because they're not hurting you. And in fact, it's seen as a way to give you feedback on your system to make it better, to improve it. So all that is to say, you could be doing an excellent job and still get, a couple minor nonconformities from the auditor, depending upon, how rigorous they are. That's not uncommon. And, the reality is, everyone has opportunities for improvement. And so those are often expressed as nonconformities. So essentially, you're going to document it and you're going to treat it. The nature of this policy, getting back to that, is just explaining your process. You can certainly modify it for your particular business case, but this one's fairly cut and dry, and it's probably going to follow fairly closely to the actual template because it's a pretty cut and dried situation. Moving on to continual improvement. There's a lot of things you can show for continual improvement. Addressing nonconformities would itself be showing continual improvement. When you do your management review, you could get feedback from senior leadership as to ways you could improve the system. And then stepping back, all the things that you're doing to generally improve your security posture, your compliance posture, can also be shown as a way of continually improving. So let's say, this year you implemented some new security tools, something like that. All of those things can be shown to demonstrate continual improvement. Like I said, it's a kind of a squishy control, and it shouldn't be that hard to show it, as long as you're keeping track of the things you're doing to make your system better. All right, Caitlin, I think that's pretty much it.
Great. All right. Thanks, Matt.